Hey friend, welcome to In Divine Timing. I'm Z. This is where we get real about alignment, healing, and uniting with your soul self. So if you are ready to level up, then you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Today's episode, we are exploring the question, what do you do when your personal life interferes with your self-leadership? Maybe you're stumbling upon this episode, this video, because you're at a point in your life where you're going through a shift. There is a lot happening in the world right now, and sometimes it takes shitty things in the world happening to wake us up to our soul's truth. There are things that are happening in the world right now that we can no longer turn a blind eye to. All of the things that are happening on purpose and in divine time. Let me tell you, it's happening exactly as it's meant to happen because we are meant to wake up. We are meant to wake up to our truth. So, what is it that you do when your personal life interferes with your self leadership? And I'm about to say something that y'all probably do not want to hear. Self-leadership comes first. It creates the foundation of your personal life. So if you feel like your personal life is interfering with your self-leadership, you actually have it backwards. You would benefit from doing more sacred self-reflection, building a honest, kind, and loving relationship with your integrity. I promise you, if you build an honest, safe, loving relationship with your integrity and move with intention, your personal life is going to be cool because you're going to stand on business no matter what happens. And that's on soul union, period. When you are aligned and awakened to your soul's truth, there is nothing that can come in between you and that truth. The distractions happen to ask us, is it that you are who you say you are? And if you're not who you say you are, you're welcome for the distraction, because now you can see where the work needs to be done, where the work wants to be done, where the work gets to be done. And I just said, I just had to be honest. And so y'all don't feel called out, I'm gonna call myself out, okay? This is a lesson that I had to learn recently. And, I've been reading my cards, and literally since September 2025, it is now April 2026. September 2025, I've been reading my tarot cards every day. That's part of my ritual. In the morning when I wake up, read my cards, connect with my soul fam, right? My cards have been telling me a cycle is ending, a cycle is ending, a cycle is ending. And I'm like, okay, there's a lot of cycles ending. What cycle is it? I had the experience to learn that I was out of alignment with my soul's truth. I have been, over the years, saying that I want to show up as a leader, that I prioritize my business, that I want to help this world be a better place. But my actions were not in full alignment with that intention, And I'm going to be so real. I get distracted by relationships, whether they're romantic relationships or friendships, just relationships. And I think that as a starseed, I come from a different place, and I'm plopped here, soul family scattered all over the world, trying to unite actively. And I crave connection. In my past life, I mastered independence. I ran successful communities helping women. And so I come to this life to do the same thing. But I come to this life with comfort in my independence and a little discomfort in building community. It's something that I really desire to do. But, sometimes when you are a bit different and when you have all of these amazing superpowers that allow you to see everything, the world can be a little scary place. So, story time. Many stories, but story time. The most recent occurrence that I have had. I've been working really hard at building this business and learning about being a person that is wanting to level up, learning about identity work, learning about what it takes to be a good leader. And that's a lot of self-reflection and also learning about the business side of things. I've been working tirelessly. I love what I do, but I have really been so focused. And it was towards the end of 2025, I started fizzling a little bit because I kind of cut I cut things off. I got really serious, and I was just like, I don't want my life to be lost. And that fear of my life being lost, it's more so the fear of the life that I desire never being accomplished, you know? And ironically, when that fear comes up, or when that fear would come up, I would self-sabotage. You know, I do this thing where I review my year every year, either at the end of the year in December, at the beginning of the year in January. And I ask myself for each month of the previous year, what are the top 3 things that supported me that month in my success? And what are the top 3 things that supported me in destruction? And for the last couple of years, the things that have been supporting me in distraction have been partying and hanging out with people that I love dearly and doing things that don't serve me where I want to grow. Because that was the community that I had built, going from being a full-time stripper to being a full-time coach. It's a big shift, and I still believe that I have work to do with that community of women. Strippers are really beautiful people, and I feel a duty to paint us in a different light and to also serve as support to help women in that industry who feel stuck and feel like they can't, get out, because that's a thing. It's tough. Once you're in, it's hard to get out. The distraction was, I would work and work and work and work on my business, and I would take a break from the club, and then I would get lonely and I would miss my friends. And so then I would go back to the club, and then slowly I'd start drinking and doing things that I had no business doing. And then I'd, staying up late because our work hours are completely opposite of the average, And the two lives, I felt like I was Hannah Montana, you know, and I knew that I needed to be up early. I knew that I needed to spend time with myself, reflecting, studying, building the business, in my ritual, in my routine, you know, exercising daily, doing things to get my system calibrated to hold space for that which I've asked for from the universe. And I just kept self-sabotaging. I'd get like right there, and then I'd get scared and I'd self-sabotage. That had nothing to do with my personal life and everything to do with my self-leadership. You have to ask yourself the hard questions and be willing to answer the call, to step forward, to embody the identity, the version of yourself who has what you want. Have I completely stepped away from the club? At this point now, I don't even put a title on it, you know. Now I don't clock in. As of recently, I just don't clock in. I'll stop by. I'll spend some time with my friends, say hi, and I'll leave. And what I've been doing is integrating more intention with my dance, because sensuality is a huge part of who I am. It's always been. So instead of feeling disrespected and degraded by customers who don't honor the beautiful light that I am and the beautiful art that I bring to this dimension, I join dance classes and I connect with awesome women who also want to feel embodied and powerful in their sensuality. So, leadership comes first. Leadership creates the foundation of your personal life. And it's not to say that I don't get to hang out with my friends anymore. This just gives me the opportunity to build more intentional relationships with these beautiful women. When you feel like your personal life and your self-leadership are not aligned, you get to ask yourself these 3 questions. Who do I want to be? And how does that person show up? The reason that this is so fucking important, guys, your brain makes decisions based off of the identity that you associate yourself with. So if you don't know who you want to become and how that person is showing up, you're going to continue to repeat old patterns because your brain is still associating yourself with the version of yourself that your brain knows you to be. So it is your job to take the intentional and sacred time to ask yourself, who do I want to be? And what is that going to require of me? What do I get to do? And get excited about it, because this is your life and you get to create your reality. You literally can choose any moment in time to be a new person. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. The only thing that matters is the next choice that you decide to make. The second question that you ask yourself is, who am I right now and how am I showing up? This question is extremely important because you get to be honest with yourself. And if you can't be honest with yourself, then you can't be honest with anybody else or anything else, you know? Who am I right now and how am I showing up? What kind of person am I? Am I the kind of person that is acting in alignment with my desires? Or am I gossiping? Am I the kind of person who is healthy? Or am I vaping? That example specifically because I threw my vape away at the gym recently because I choose to identify with a version of myself that is a famous singer. Beautiful ascension music, inspiring people all over the world to go within and rise. How am I supposed to do that with unhealthy lungs and a disconnected mind? Because the vape will disconnect you from the good thoughts. I'm telling you. If you're depressed and you vape, stop vaping. I promise you will probably fall out of your depression and into some joy. It's important to know who you are right now and how you're showing up right now so you know what behaviors to change. You can celebrate the things that you do that are supporting you and who you want to become, and release the behaviors and the habits that are pulling you further away from the version of yourself that you want to become. And you can give them thanks because they showed you what not to do, who not to be. Thank that version of yourself for making the sacrifice and honor that version of yourself by choosing a higher path. Question number 3. What is one small step I can focus on to help me grow towards being the person that I want to be, that can help me grow into the version of myself who I want to become, my highest self, to make it simple? This question is so important. And it's important that it's just one small fucking step that you choose. Oftentimes people fail because they set huge goals. And it takes small steps to get to the big goals. I learned this the hard way. A year ago, I was setting some big ass goals. And I had big ass lists to check off every fucking day. And I was failing. And I was like, I know that I can accomplish all of these things. Why? Why am I not doing them? Because my goals were too big. If you can identify one small step to focus on every single day, and you know that that one step is going to help you align with your highest self, then if everything else goes wrong in the day and you did that one thing, you know that you're going to be successful, because that one thing will lead to another good habit and another good habit and another good habit and another good relationship and another good, all of the things that are good and supportive, For me, my one small step that I focus on to help me grow towards who it is that I want to be is moving my body. If I move my body every day, everything is okay because I'm moving the energy inside of me. And that allows me to align with the energy around me. Because as above, so below, as within, so without. I am a universe, you are a universe. But that's just me. It's so important to give gratitude to the past and the present self, because, like I said earlier, they are the ones making sacrifices to build your empire, to build the version of you that is your highest self. You have to unlearn shit, relearn new shit, trial and error, and it's that sacred self-reflection. It's that sacred self-intention, that brings you to where it is that you want to be. This episode might not have been what you expected it to be, but I promise you, I know it's what you needed, because it took me 3 years, guys. Honestly, probably like 30 years, but like the last 3-4 years, I had to sit back and reflect and look at okay, I'm trying to force these relationships to work. And I am watching myself fall away from who I know myself to be, trying to make these relationships work. And it's not that the relationships aren't going to work, it's that I was out of alignment with my own personal integrity. So just as soon as I got in alignment with my own personal integrity and I started inviting my friends to do things that I enjoy, everything got better. You know, I wake up at 7 a.m. now, naturally. I do my ritual and routine every day. I move my body, I journal, I show up for my community. I'm happy, I'm healthy, life is good. And I have so much less stress because I'm in alignment. I allow myself to heal. I'm connected with my soul's truth. So if you listen to this episode today and you feel inspired, but you don't know where to start, the Frequency Shift Manual will be your best friend. This is the ebook that I just wrote. It helps you rewire your mind, reset your energy, and embody the version of yourself who naturally attracts the life that they want. And if you're a woman who is fed up with just surviving and feeling disconnected, you're ready to feel confident, you're ready to feel peaceful, and you're ready to be in your power, join the Sacred Embodiment Room. This is my growing community of multidimensional women doing the sacred inner work to live out loud. We hold each other accountable and inspire each other to take up space in a world that wants to keep us in a box. The links are down in the description. Thank you so much for listening in. I know this message found you exactly when it was meant to. Until the next episode, trust your path, trust your timing, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.